G'day invaders, welcome to Sin Spacies, and for today's video I'm going to take you into the inside of a Japanese gamer, kinda. Now the background story to this is that in 2006 I got to visit Japan for the very first time, and I have a family that's over there, a sister-in-law in Hokkaido and another sister-in-law in Tokyo. So when staying in Hokkaido for the very first time, I had nowhere else to sleep in this house except in the nephew's room. He wasn't in the room with me, I had the room to myself. And while I was staying in the room, I couldn't help but notice his awesome gaming collection. He had a lot of Famicom, Super Famicom, and also I think he had a whole stack of handheld gaming memorabilia at the time. And fast forward to 2017, I thought it would be really cool to get back to that room with a video camera to show you guys. But a couple of things got in the way. So first off, he's incredibly shy, and he didn't want his room to be videoed. So you'll have to understand that with this video, I'm only filming the collection, and that is it. Nothing else in the room. So there's that. Also, he's shy and he won't appear on camera, so I had to deal with that. The other thing was that a lot of the games that he used to own back in 2006, he has since sold to buy newer stuff. So unfortunately, his collection has greatly been reduced, but he still has some cool stuff, and I'm going to show you guys rather than me babbling on any further. Let's take a look at a Japanese gamer's collection.
Hi there, this is Brian from Sin Spacies, and I haven't shaven, so please excuse my bum face at the moment because I've been touring Hokkaido, but I've been given permission by my nephew to film some of the retro games that he's got, stuff like Super Game Boy 2, which I'm still trying to get a hold of myself. He's also got a pretty extensive collection here of Super Nintendo games, like Kirby, a couple of Kirby games, and this one's for a series of books that I'm not familiar with. Please comment below if you know what we're talking about here. Super Bazooka, Super Scope, he's got the gun in the attic apparently. This one I'm not familiar with. Comment below if you know it. Mortal Kombat 2, yes, it was big in Japan as well. Super Yoshi Island, and Gun Force, Donkey Kong 3, that was an awesome game by Rare. Donkey Kong 2, I bet you're number 1 tier 2. No, Super Mario World, I got 2 copies of that myself. And what's this one? I don't know this one. Super Mario Paint? He doesn't know. Okay, we'll work that out later. I'll have to look it up. We've also got a couple of Famicom games, Tetris, Flash, I'm not familiar with, and Rampart. I remember this. This is a good strategy game. And Yoshi Cookie. Yeah, I know this one. Okay, and he's also got quite an extensive range of other games, but I'll have to sift through them later. Yeah, I do apologise for the rushed nature of this video, but we've just been touring Hokkaido, Japan. I've been driving for about a total of 20 hours, so not in a row, but I've done driving all day today. But moving right along, we've got, I'll just hide my ugly head, there we go, a couple of Nintendo Japanese magazines and comics, manga comics. These are cool. We never got this stuff in the West. This is so cool. Also, he showed me his copy, if I can grab that, Majora's Mask. I wasn't personally a fan of it. I tried, couldn't get into it, but I know that there's a couple of fanboys out there. Also, Nintendo 64. I can't remember the name of this one in the West. You could basically have like a Tamagotchi style pet simulator with Pikachu. From what I got told though, it never really worked in the West. He's also got his Super Nintendo, which like mine is getting yellow with age. You can clean that, but it is very hard to clean. Notice the Super Famicom, not Super Nintendo. And yeah, there's a whole heap of, he used to have a whole heap of other stuff as well, but he apparently has traded them in for newer games, which is such a shame because he used to have such a huge collection. And he's also got, I'll just drag this out, Nintendo 64 titles. Wrong way. So he's got, oh, I don't know this one, not familiar. Leave your comments below if you know this one. Custom Robo, another one I'm not familiar with. I don't know any of these games. How bad am I? Super Mario Party 3, at least I know that one. And I'll guess this one's number, oh, the original one. The one that started it all. And this would be Robo. Mega Man, which, Mega Man Dash. Donkey Kong 64. Collectathon-holic on that one. Wow, that is heavy. This cartridge is a lot heavier than the others. This is Pokemon Coliseum. Must be extra RAM or something in that one. And we've got Pokemon, another, I'm not sure what that one is. Pokemon Stadium. And the last one, I don't know this one. Oh, what am I doing? Super Smash Brothers, the original. So he's got quite an extensive range of 3DS and DS titles as well. I'll slowly pan down here because I know you guys like to see and catch all this in. Quite a few of these stand out for me because I've got a lot of these myself. Probably out of all of these, well, first of all, this one here, Final Fantasy Echoes of Time. Now the game itself wasn't all that great, to be honest, but I've got the limited edition DS, which I'll put a picture of up on the screen now. And my copy's sealed. I have not opened that. I've got a copy of that in English to play. But there's a lot of these games here which I'm really into. He's got also the Attorney series from Capcom. I've forgotten the name of it because I never got into it myself, and I'm going to get slammed in the comments for comment section for forgetting that. But out of all these, I don't know, which one would you go with as the favourite? There's so many good titles here to choose from. I'd probably, he's got his Fire Emblem too, typical. I would, if he had Super Smash Bros. As a physical copy here, I'd go with that. But he doesn't, it's a digital only. I would have to go, sorry, Super Mario Bros. DS is the favourite out of all of these. I know that's cliche, but it is probably one of the most bang for money, bang for buck when it comes out of all of these 3DS DS games. Pretty cool collection he's got here actually. And he's got a couple of exclusives which I'll show in just a second. Probably the biggest out of all of his collection that I've seen, the biggest item is this, the Legend of Zelda collection. Now in Australia this was super hard to find and it came out as a very limited edition, but in Japan the only way you could get it is through Club Nintendo. If I can just open this up very carefully, I said carefully. There you go, so you can see that it's running on the 2 discs. Now back in the day this was running at 60 megahertz, which meant that not all TVs could run this properly. So some people had an older TV would have had to have upgraded their TVs to play these collections. But you've got the Ocarina of Time, and I do believe that that's the 4 Swords. I'm not too sure. I'll have to double check that because I actually don't own this in my collection. I recently saw the Gamesman showing this off, that they acquired a copy of this signed by Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto himself. We're not lucky enough to have a copy like that here, but this still is a very, very impressive piece to have in a collection. So just when I think he's recorded all the games he's got, he's gone to his attic and pulled out some more. So this is the N64 collection, part 2. And you can see there's a couple of big hitters here. I'm sure he's probably got more that he hasn't shown me. You've got Yoshi Island 2, I think that is. I'm not too sure. I never got into the N64 much myself, to be honest. Mario Kart 64, Mario Golf, which I guess he was big into. A lot of people were into that. A Doraemon game, which I've never seen before. And you got Kirby 64. You've also got Paper Mario, which is called Mario Story, which I thought it was just called Paper Mario. That's the 1,000. Was it the 1,000 Doors Story? I'm not too sure. There's one that I haven't played. Mario Tennis 64. And you've also got. Which one's this? I don't know this one. Is this Snap? Okay. It's this one here. So that's the Snaps. That's the Pikachu Pet Pikachu game. That's right. Then you got the 2 big hitters up at the end here. Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Mario 64. And he's also still got the microphone for the Pokemon game as well. But he's also pulled out his Famicom, which he's had since he was a little kid. He can't tell me how long he's had this because he just simply doesn't remember. This is the first time I've really looked at a Famicom, and a proper one with the cartridge eject button and everything, and the controller. So you got controller number 1, and on the other hand you've got controller number 2 with controller number 2 with the microphone, which was used for some games, including The Legend of Zelda, the very first one. A pretty cool system. A lot of these systems are yellowed over time, and they can be cleaned up, but they are very hard to keep in very good condition. There are chemicals out there that you can buy to clean them up. A lot of people just haven't had the time to do so. There was a lot of extension ports which were used for other things, including the disk drive, which goes underneath this system. I think that might wrap it up. It is hot as heck in here, actually. So that's been a quick look at some of the games that a Japanese gamer has in his collection. He's also got some modern equipment as well, including the Switch. But I thought I'd just show you this because it gives you a bit of an insight as to what games a Japanese gamer used to play back in the 90s onwards. And I thought I've recorded everything. Of course, a stash of more games come out. We've got Kirby's Air Ride. We've got The Legend of Zelda, The Twilight Princess. This is the version where Link is left-handed, and then in the Wii version, because it was using the Wiimote, they changed it to make him right-handed, and they flipped the game right around. You've also got Super Mario RPG, which I've got this on Virtual Console for the Wii U, using the Wii. It's a long story. Then you got Custom Robot. I don't know this game, to be honest. Then you got the next one, Super Smash Brothers, of course, everyone's favourite. Fire Emblem, a game series that I need to get into, but I know I've heard big things about. The Legend of Zelda collection, which I showed you before, probably the biggest title in his whole collection here. The Wind Waker Zelda, the game that everyone hated when it first came out, but everyone realised afterwards it was actually a really, really good game. That's the HD remake, which I've got. I've got both of these versions actually myself. I've got a digital version of that though. I just picked up this recently, 2 weeks ago, yet to play it. The only Mario game I haven't played, Super Mario Sunshine. Then you've got Mario Party 4 and 5, and I got 5 and 6 I think it was, or 6 and 7. I can't remember, but the ones that I got had the microphone that came with it as well. that is all of them. I'm not recording anymore. It's just been so much of an overload of retro games. He's just got so much in his collection. It's been an honour to be able to record this, and I hope you guys at home enjoyed watching this too. Please leave a like and subscribe, and comment if there's any games here that you wish you had in your collection, or anything that you think he should own. Let me know in the comments below. Until then, my name has been Brian, and I've been gaming since Spaceys. Thanks, guys.